reborn a god.
This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. What I'm going to look at today is the trailer for DC's Black Adam, which was released last week. And I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly care. Part of what bothers me about DC as it's being treated by the current management of Warner Brothers, which is going to change, I should say which is changing, and it's a good thing. And hopefully some of those changes make their way to DC films, because I don't like the randomness of DC films. There's a feeling of not knowing what the fuck they want to do about DC films. I mean, they actually tried to get a Wonder Twins film produced, for God's sakes. The fucking Wonder Twins. Now, that's not a criticism in and of itself of the Wonder Twins. It's the fact that DC has so many characters to build upon, and they go to the Wonder Twins. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And what I must admit bothers me even more is that people are paid to make these decisions. These aren't random decisions. These are people who are paid lots of money to make stupid decisions. And let's be honest about this. Stupid decisions because they are not familiar at all with these characters. I don't even mean to imply that they're remotely familiar or kind of familiar. They are not at all familiar with these characters, except in the broadest of strokes. Therefore, they should not be managing them. Marvel Studios' strength, I should say, is that Kevin Feige knows these characters. I don't know how well he knows them, but he definitely knows them enough that he can produce films on them that resonate on some level. And that's not to say that all the Marvel Studios films worked as well as I or a lot of other people would have liked them to. But the point is, more often than not, they work. And at the heart of that is a man who knows who these characters are. Now, based upon a lot of rumor, the new head of Warner Media, Warner Discovery Media, his last name is Zaslav, I believe, wants to have a dedicated person in charge of DC films. Or I should say DC, which would include the comics as well. And it appears that he's looking for someone who actually understands and is familiar with these characters. Might I suggest Jim Lee? In any case, this is a good sign, because DC Films is almost the antithesis of Marvel Studios, which is to say they're badly managed, they don't understand the characters they're working with, and it's a mess. And its randomness, to come full circle, I cannot cope with. I don't like it because I grew up reading comics, and their interconnectedness is part of what's so enjoyable. That's not to say you can't have solo adventures with this character or that character, but the interconnectedness is part of the joy. In any case, let's look at the trailer for Black Adam.
Black Adam, what have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache.
I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me. Now, I kneel before no one. this world.
Is this trying to be Black Panther?
Heroes
Oh, Dr. Fate is so
and their villains. Heroes don't kill people.
Tell Zack Snyder.
Well, I do. My vision has shown me the future. You have two choices. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. That's up to you.
It's funny.
Did he just catch a rocket?
Well, that was the trailer for DC Films' Black Adam. And can it steal more blatantly from Marvel trailers? For instance, Black Panther. For instance, Iron Man. And that's not to say it was a bad trailer, because it wasn't. Anytime you introduce Dr. Fate, probably one of my favorite DC characters, I'm going to be interested. But this trailer is so derivative. It looks good, but it's also derivative. And it goes back to my point about DC people not knowing what the hell they're doing. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow.